All right. So this next part is called types of financing. If you open your folder, there is another page. Remember everybody who here wrote notes? Who wrote down all the types of financing? Yeah?
You didn't need to.
I did too. Made sure I wrote them all down. Yep. But I went a step above that. I actually defined each one of the different types. So now you know exactly what they are and how they're defined. I define them a little differently than I would in like normal outside of this by Googling them. I went and I got the actual Wikipedia definition. So what we're going to do is go around the room, get some volunteers. We're going to go around the room and we're going to read the definitions.
So we are.
Some of us are. Not all of us have to read. You're right. You're right. Wow, I told you you wouldn't have to read. That's interesting. I don't like to go against my word. I will read these. I will read these because I did make a commitment that you don't have to read anything. So, residential financing. Who here is familiar with residential financing? Yes. Residential financing under both the SAFE Act and MLOLA. Does anybody know what that is? Where are my lenders at? Yeah? All right, nobody knows. A residential mortgage loan is similarly defined to mean any loan primarily for personal, family, or household use that is secured by a mortgage, deed of trust, or other equivalent consensual security interest on a dwelling or land on which a person intends to construct a dwelling. That's a complex definition to say you live in the property. You guys get that? Residential, you live in the property. Commercial financing. In the United States, actually, you know what? This is so boring. You guys have it in your paper. Are you guys glad that you have the definitions, but you realize that they're actually super boring? Can I just give you my versions of these? Are you totally into it? I was losing me, Mike. Commercial lending. This is big stuff, right? My definition of commercial lending is anything you don't live in that makes money, right? If it makes money, it's commercial lending. Big stuff. Think this building right now is a 10-unit building. What is its purpose? Generate cash. Right? Anything that's a retail space, a hotel, a casino, strip mall, these are commercial. The commercial I prefer to deal in are residential commercial. I like commercial that houses people. The reason being, it's a consumable product that will not go out of style. I like things that are consistent. Has anybody here knows who Warren Buffett is? Has anybody read something that Warren Buffett has said? So correct me if I'm wrong, but Warren Buffett's always saying he wants something he understands. He wants something that he gets. He invests in, what is something that Warren Buffett invests in? Mike?
Geico.
Geico. He gets it, all right? What is something Warren Buffett invests in? Tara?
Real estate.
Well, Berkshire Hathaway is a real estate company, but he always used to say, I'll only invest in real estate if I can just buy like a whole portfolio of single families. That's how he would invest in real estate.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gillette, right?
Gillette, yeah.
So things.
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. He invests in things he understands. He invests in consumable products. Things you must use often, all the time. You got to come back for it. Because he knows the sale is the hardest part. But once you have a captive audience, somebody who's using the product, sees the value in the product, wants to use the product again, you've suddenly got a pipeline. You've got a funnel.
Jordan's Furniture.
Jordan's Furniture.
Yeah.
Furniture is one of the biggest industries because they take wood and they turn it into something that's worth thousands. Right? They take wood and fabric, right? They basically just put clothes on sticks and they sell it for thousands of dollars. Has anybody ever opened a couch before?
Yes.
Where are my landlords at? Who here's had to cut one in half? You open them up, it's like, that's freaking magical. Like, what's inside of here? They went to Home Depot. They grabbed a couple of, like, they don't even, like, use legit wood, man. They use, like, 2x3s and furring strips. And I swear to God, that's how your couch is built. 2x3s and furring strips, and then they staple everything, right? Has anybody had a couch fall apart on them before? Yeah, that's why. Furniture is like built by hopes and dreams. Commercial real estate is not. Think of residential real estate as furniture. think of commercial real estate as like granite, like actual granite stuff that you see outside, right? If you build a chair out of granite, that's commercial real estate. It will be there forever. It will generate income forever. That's the difference. So when you're dealing with residential, banks tend to have more requirements. They're like, no, you gotta live in that though. Like if you're gonna use this, you gotta use this. With commercial, they're like, well, as long as it makes money. It's granite. It doesn't go out of style. I can sell it again tomorrow. It's worth what it's worth because it makes money. Their requirements are a little different. You've got to be able to manage the property. You've got to have experience. They look at you a little differently. They're not worried about the W-2. So residential financing, they're worried about the W-2. That's their concern. They want to see that you got a job. They want to see that you have income, right? That you can support it. They want to see that your credit score is right. They want to see, basically, that you pay your mortgage, that you will pay the bills that you're going to acquire, right? They want to see that you've got money in the bank with a residential mortgage. With a commercial mortgage, same thing. They also like to see that you got money in the bank, but they don't care about your income because the property handles that. They do care about your score because ultimately, they want you to pay them back. They understand that people who pay small things will pay big things. This making sense?
Yep.
Is this valuable information? Is this stuff everybody already knew? Most of it, right? You want to get into the cool stuff? Private funding. So private funding, this is a private lender is someone who uses their capital to finance investments such as real estate and profits from interest paid on the loan. Private lenders are not affiliated with a bank or financial institution and instead interact directly with the borrower. Is that cool? Everybody gets that everybody in this room could be a private money lender. Everybody in this room could invest in somebody else's project. This makes sense. Mike, we doing a deal together?
Yes, ma'am.
Hell yeah, we were texting earlier. So it's like literally everybody at some point is a private money lender. Has anybody lent money to a friend or family member ever?
Yeah,
Did you ever get it back?
Good interest.
A good interest? Yeah. Oh, shark. I like it. See?
Oh, my dad.
See, rich people are nice people, right? So, yeah, that's how it works. If you've ever lent somebody money and the money didn't come back, this is also private money lenders' fear, right? That's their main concern. They want to know that you can bring it back, and they also want a little bit of interest. There's got to be a reason for them to give you that money. Nobody gives money for no reason. They give money because it makes sense. You've handed money to your family members because you liked them, or you felt guilty, and if you didn't like them, you still had to give them that money, right? So there's connection. Emotional connection is a reason you'll lend money. Because there's a guaranteed return on investment is another reason you'll lend money. Because, what was the other one?
interest.
Money. No, that's guaranteed return on investment. Oh, because of the promise of something fun. Because of the promise of something fun, a major benefit that isn't financial, but is experiential, you will lend money. And the last one is because it just helps you move forward. It does something sideways. It transitions your life. It makes sense. People will lend money because of that. This making sense? What I just described is DISC, right? What I just described is the different personalities of DISC. Everybody lends for different reasons. So when you're talking to somebody about private money, understand that how much you pay them, being an equity partner in the deal, is not always the play for them. A lot of times I've seen investors come to me and say, yeah, you know, I'll give you this much money, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. I don't want to do the work. Right? So if you're a perfect example, Sarah yesterday, she said, I want to partner with you. And in my head, I'm like, why? Why do I want to partner with you? Right? That was my real question. Because I get why she wants to partner with me. It's a slam dunk, right? Easy deal. So I told her, what do you bring to the table? I got the money. I can find my own deals. I can run the deal. Like, what do you bring? And we talked for about 2 hours, but we weren't giving up. She was not giving up without getting me to say, yes, I'll partner with you. And at the end of it, she found my pain point. I don't want to do the work. I'll raise the capital, not a problem. I'll find the deal, not a problem. I don't like to do the labor side of it. Remember when I said I'm lazy? It's because it pulls me out of the fun stuff, right? I love teaching, I love training, I love helping you guys. And I love making money. So the work has to get done by somebody. And she found my pain point. She's like, I'll manage it. Yeah, I'll make sure that all the contractors show up on time. Garrett, how hard is it to get contractors to show up on time? You're in the business, you know. Yeah. It can be, you always show up on time. You're awesome.
I was waiting for that.
Yes. So Garrett does, give Garrett a round of applause. He does a lot of work for us in these buildings and some of that stuff we're doing. So thank you. Garrett, you guys saw the deal Fulton Street? Garrett did work on that building, helped me make a lot of money. So thank you, Garrett, I appreciate you. And now I want to teach you how to do it. So, private money is everybody. Private money is everywhere. The reasons people give you money are different based on the people. It's very different. Don't have one approach and think it's going to work every time. You have to adjust to the different people that you're working with. Hard money. Hard money, there's just one thing they want. They want the deal to work. They want the money to work. They want to know that you've got a history of paying people back. They want to know that you're capable of doing this deal. And they want to make sure that they're getting paid interest, lots of it. Hard money is expensive money. It's not called soft money for a reason, all right? Hard money typically will cost you 14%, 2 to 4 points. Yeah, I know, scared you there. Points, anybody know what points are? Yeah. Yes, points are a percentage of the whole loan paid up front. So, you're borrowing $100,000, 1 point is $1,000 paid up front. If you're borrowing $100,000, 4 points is very good. Very good, $4,000. So points. Why do investors, hard money guys, charge points? Anybody know?
Sure. That's where they make their money.
That's where they make their money. It's not about the interest. That's just fun gravy on top of it. They've made their money at the close, and then they make money every single month. This make sense? The banks are the same way. The banks will charge you points to lower your interest rate. Why?
Because they make more money up front.
They make more money up front. They front load everything. For them, who cares about the interest that they're making? They want the points. The front load of a mortgage is nuts. The first 15 years, you're basically paying interest. The next 15 years, oh, you finally get to pay off your house. All right? Go to a 15-year mortgage. I suggest it on your actual home. If you own a home, who owns a single-family home? You get two options: either pay it off or sell it. That's the only thing that makes money. It doesn't make sense having a mortgage on your single-family home. It makes sense having a mortgage on a multifamily home. But a single-family home is a liability. You could, for the same money you're putting out every single month, be in a rental unit and be renting out a multifamily. Does that make sense? Is there anybody who I offended with that comment? Wow, I'm in an interesting room. Outside of this room, everybody would have been offended by that comment. Let me tell you, when I talk to real estate agents and I say that, wow, that's crazy. Go ahead.
So, that was a really interesting comment that you just made, because most people, that's their goal in life, is to be a homeowner and to own their own home and this and that. But like you said about liabilities, it's either an asset or a liability, right? So assets is when you're generating money and it's coming in. Liabilities is when you're just putting it out and paying this and this and that.
Exactly.
So that's really interesting, because a lot of people in this world think that that's like, oh, I'm gonna get my dream home, but then you're in your dream home and you can't afford to pay for it.
And you're working the 65-year
So
plan.
then what?
Right. You gotta work for the rest of your life.
To pay for it, but that's what everybody's so, oh, the 401ks and this and that. That's not nothing. Like, what are you gonna live off of? That's why there's Social Security, and then
What is your name?
What was that?
What's your name?
Nakaya.
Everybody say, thank you, Nakaya. You're a round of applause. Very well said.
Yeah.
So it's an understanding that outside of this room, trust me when I say this, you guys are the 1%. If not one, the 5, right? I'm 1% for sure. When I look at my income based on what I make and what the country makes, I'm 1%. I want to see you guys there too. The fact that we're having a similar conversation, our mindset is the same, means that you're probably a lot like me. You're probably, if not the 1%, the 5%. I'm working towards a fraction of 5%, going to the billion, right, Randy?
Oh, yeah.
That's it. And the only way to do that is helping more people. I'm very aware of the process. Hard money just wants their money back. They want to believe in you. They want to know that you can do the project. If you've done one successful project, you're likely to do another. This is how it works. We understand that. If you've never done one, hard money may be a little more difficult to get a hold of. They're going to want references. They're going to know who's going to say, yeah, that person I've got, right? So it's, for me, I had some really good friends of mine in the beginning when I started who said, yeah, he's good, right? They were real estate agents who also did flips, and they came to me and I asked them, and they gave me a hard money guy, and he called them and said, who is this guy? Who's this Walter kid? Who is he? And they put a good word for me, saying, no, he's legit. Like, he'll do what he says he's gonna do. He'll pay you back. He knows what he's doing. I've talked to him, he understands the business. And then they go a step further and they say, will you help him out if he runs into a jam? Is he that kind of friend to you? Would you go and help him out? And when Johnny said yes, I got the deal. Had nothing to do with anything else. Does that make sense? It's all about those relationships. That's it. Seller financing. Seller financing. This is when somebody else becomes your private money lender. The person who owns the house already owns the house, and now they're letting you borrow the money. You're paying them back over time. I get questions on how to finance this, how to structure these deals. Look, it's complex. It's a strategy. We'll put it in the event. We'll talk about get the deal because it comes into negotiating. And negotiating seller financing is whatever you want it to be. 20% interest, 2% interest. Points up front, no points, balloon payments. It's just mortgage lending. Every single option there is for somebody to pay somebody back money that has been created over the centuries is an option. You could say, give me a cow every 3 weeks, and that means you get to stay in the house, right? If that's in the contract, you show up with Daisy the cow and Corey the cow next month, you get to keep the house. Does that make sense? So when I say seller financing, it's whatever you want. That said, typically, people are going for 5% interest with 2 to 3 year balloon payments because we know that after we've aged the deed for 2 years, we can go refinance into commercial or residential. So that's typical, but do not lock yourself into it. You can do whatever you want on seller financing. Subject to existing financing, who knows what that is? Yes, who doesn't know what subject to existing financing is? Okay. Lauren, you already know what it is? You're being real right now? All right. So that is when you take over somebody else's mortgage. You come in, you take over their mortgage. This is something I've done if you've read the book. Hold on, let me just move all these stacks of cash. If you read the book, Broke to $250,000, this is the Charles Street property, right? The single family home that I bought. I bought that using subject to existing financing. And I talked about who was at the event we did this Thursday. Who was there? Where are people at? So Thursday I talked about that deal, right? And that was a cool process. So that's subject to existing financing. Bridge and gap financing. Who's familiar with bridge and gap? Yes. Who is not familiar with bridge and gap? Put your hands all the way up. Okay. So would you like to know a little bit about bridge and gap financing? Excellent. Bridge and gap financing is when you borrow the down payment from somebody here and you go and get the loan from somebody over here. You guys heard of this back in 2008, right? Everybody was doing that. No, you just take a second loan out, just borrow this, right? That's called gap funding, bridge loans. The other one is syndication. Syndication is when you borrow a whole bunch of people's money to go buy a big deal. Doesn't make sense for anything under 50 units because you're talking about a $50,000 to $75,000 startup cost just in legal fees and documentation. The other one, which I didn't put on here, is real estate investment trusts. The reason I didn't put it on here is because that is a $750,000 starting cost just to get all the litigation put together. It's nearly $1 million to start a REIT. So you gotta be cash flowing pretty well at that point in order to get going. Does that make sense? So, why do people borrow money on that scale? They're buying 60,000 units. Remember we talked about REITs at the beginning of the day. That's why they borrow so much money. That's why they go through the process to just collect more cash. It's basically like taking a company public, right? That's what a REIT is. This make sense? Very good. Excellent. How am I doing for time? 10:38. We did this one, we did this one. What type's most interesting? All right, so we're gonna do an exercise. I want you guys to write down and pull out a new piece of paper. Write down on that piece of paper the type of financing you are most interested in right now. The type of financing that most will affect you right now that you're interested in. And you've got about 30 seconds to write that down. Or you can circle it, since we have the types of financing right here on the page, you can circle it or write it down. And go. Everybody has their type of financing down. You only pick one. You can't have two. I know there's C's in the room who are like, I want them all. You only get one. Everybody has one? All right. Is there anybody who hasn't picked one yet? Come on, man. You got it. How about now? Everybody got it? Okay. You're going to pick an A partner and a B partner. Here's the thing. It's got to be somebody you don't know. Or, no, that's kind of tough in this room. All right, it's got to be somebody you haven't partnered with yet. Sounds good? So, guys, gals, well, guys, gals, go. Find yourself a partner. You got about 30 seconds. Let's do this. Finding partners, finding partners. There we go. Finding the people. You guys are good. Oh no, don't have a conversation. Everybody has a partner? Yes. I need you guys to pick an A partner and a B partner. Is there anybody who doesn't have a partner? Everybody has a partner. A partners, stand up. A partners. A partners, where are your hands at? A partners, need you guys to stand. A. Put your hands, if you're an A partner, please stand up, put your hands up, yep. A partners. Everybody who is an A is standing, everybody who is a B is sitting, correct? Excellent. Here are the rules. A's, you get one choice. You've all picked? And now you're going to discuss that choice to your B partner. You're going to say the reason you want to do it. And then you're going to say a very specific sentence. I want you to copy. Everybody in the room can copy with this one. I commit to learning this strategy, insert strategy. You guys ready? I commit to learning this strategy. Insert strategy there. So A partners, you're going to, in 30 seconds or less, explain to B partner which one you're going to do, and then you're going to tell them, I commit to doing this strategy. B partners, you're going to say a very specific sentence. In fact, it might make sense to write this down. I know you are, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it. Sound good? I know you are, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it. We've all got this. Are we all willing to hold each other accountable to hitting these goals? Excellent. A partners, B partners, everybody can stand up and start sharing. You've got 30 seconds to share. A partner, this is your turn to share.
So we're looking into getting into private financing. We wanted to, I think next year on multifamilies, we're going to buy up some families that need work, so we'll leave some money up front for renovations. So we're going to use some of the private financing. Yeah, so I picked private financing. Yeah, our goal right now is to get 10 of them. For next year, to get 10 properties that need work.
Gentlemen, I forgot one instruction, one very important instruction. At the end, what is the last thing you're supposed to say? Be partners.
I know you are, and I'm gonna hold your mouth.
Guys in the back, girls in the back. The sentence is, I know you are, and I'm committed to holding you accountable. Embrace them with a hug. There you go. Excellent. A partners and B partners, you guys having fun? You guys doing a good job over there? B partners, it is now your turn to share. Go. Alright, very good. Everybody got their piece in? Ladies and gentlemen, come back, sit down, come back to your seats. We gotta stay on track. Back to your seats, back to your seats. Very good. Excellent, back to the seats. Alright guys, come on, time is tight. I got things to do after this. Time is money. Ladies and gentlemen, back to the seat. I do it for you guys. Because I've got to, I do it for you, right? We've got to stay on track for not just you, but the other people here. If I have to skip anything, you guys lose out, right? As a group. So I don't want you to miss anything. So that's the reason I call you back quickly. What I do notice though is that you are all having a lot of fun.
Yes.
Right? And you're all noticing you guys have a lot of really cool people in the room right now. There's a lot of really cool people in here with us. I like that. So this last one, what are some ahas? What are things that you learned from it? What are things that came out of that? Go ahead, Lisa.
I learned that I don't set high goals.
That's pretty dangerous phraseology. So stand up for a second. What you said is that you don't set high goals, which is a current statement.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. So we
I
know where
want
we're
to
going
set
with
higher
this.
goals.
There you go. Much more powerful statement. Awesome. Give her a round of applause. What else? What else did we learn? George. State your name and where you're from.
George White from Boston, Mass.
Hello, George.
Who's got the money?
Who's got the money? What is your question, my friend?
No, my takeaway was.
Oh, your takeaway, I'm sorry, yeah.
And speaking to my A partner,
Yeah.
he was very specific about the type of lending that he wants to learn more about.
Yeah.
And the reason why.
Very good.
I guess he's got his own niche. He's sorted out and he sees what it is he really wants to do.
Is Josh your partner?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was my takeaway.
Very cool. Give George a round of applause. Give Josh a round of applause. And George, would you say that empowers him?
Yes.
It does. Clarity is power. Go ahead.
Because I knew exactly what I want to do now. So
Yes.
we touched off on it.
So you gained clarity from speaking with your partner.
Well, I knew because I spoke to you about it. That's
Right.
why I'm here.
Well, I'll take that. Thank you.
But he was certain of why he chose the kind of lending that he wants.
Right.
And
Very good.
he had a lot of information about why he wanted to do it. And it was clear. It was
Right.
clear.
So give Josh a round of applause.
Yeah,
Thank you
Josh.
for sharing, George. That's awesome. Anything else? What do you got?
I'm Mike, I'm from North Kingstown, Rhode Island.
Hi, Mike.
And I learned that there are people in here doing real deals and they're real people, so that's cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing a real deal. You guys get a round of applause. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bobby's working on one. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Move it up.
yes. That's awesome.
So we're getting something out of this. We're all getting value. We're also meeting some really amazing people that we probably wouldn't have connected with outside of this, right? That's pretty cool. I like that. So it's working. Are you guys learning something? Are you having fun?
Yes.
Yeah. Good, good. Next one's the PFS. I decided to do the PFS because it's necessary. You track what you track, you get more of. What you focus on expands, what you think about, you bring about. So if you track your personal financial statement and you track your income and your net worth, you will increase it. The more you pay attention to it, the more you set goals for it, the more it will improve. Your financial situation is because of the habits you've created. This one habit will change your life. It will change your income. It will absolutely change your net worth by tracking your net worth. So, if you look at your folder, you have inside a PFS. Mike, I'm using the bookmark, by the way. This is
sweet.
already working.
Get the money.
Yeah, this is already working. Thank you.
They give Brenda credit for that.
Brenda gets points, though.
Brenda gets
Brenda gets the points. So, I made some promises. I'm not going to be able to go through all these documents with you guys. One, I don't like documents. Two, there's a lot of information here. So, what we have in here is from Dominion Financial Services, a personal statement. For me, this document is complex and difficult to fill out. For most of you, it will not be that hard. There will not be multiple LLCs. Well, Mike, you probably do. Sorry.
Well, I'm just an I, so I don't like doing it.
I hear you. This is necessary. It is super important. I'm also a high influencer, high I, love the fun, love the party, but I'm also D, which means I gotta get it done, right? D's favorite word, done, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, it has to be done, right? And because many of you have S in you and have families, just think about it this way. By tracking this, it's for your family. You're doing it in a manner for them. Anybody who's a money avoider, trust me, if you avoid it, it'll avoid you. You've got to track it. Like attracts like, right? So evaluate yourself as within, so without. The C's, for my cautious people, for the people who like a ton of data, you'll have no issue filling this out. In fact, you probably already have your numbers and you have this written down somewhere else. You'll have the easiest time with this. Focus on increasing those numbers more. You're already on track. So, what is a PFS? You guys get it at this point? It's a personal financial statement. This is what you have. Your net worth is tracked on the PFS. This is where you are going to bring this to a bank, and the bank wants to know, who is this person? Financially, who is this person? What do they have for assets? What do they have for liabilities? Should we give them another asset/liability? I look at mortgages as assets to me. Every debt I owe is something I have to go work for. It means I have to get a little smarter. So I love having debt that provides me income. My debts mean my income's way higher. Every debt I've picked up has made my life better. Does that make sense? The richest people on the planet owe the most money, right? When we talk about Jeff Bezos, Amazon, do you know what his debt is? Whatever he has sold for shares of his company. Right? When you look at the debt, when you look at how many shares are sold of Amazon, that's the debt. Right? That's what they borrowed from you guys to go operate their business. The people who are the richest on the planet owe the most people money. Because that's what our purpose is on this planet, is to owe other people and then deliver. Amazon delivers every day to their shareholders. That's why they're paid. That's why people continue to believe in them. Amazon makes their stock go up in value, which is why people continue to buy their stock, right?
Yeah.
The shareholders are like, woo! That's their job, is to service their people. So what do? Whatever it takes to raise value for those people. Millions of people invest in these shares, in these stocks. The richest people on the planet owe the most people the most amount of money. That makes sense? If you're not rich, you don't owe enough people something. When I owe people money, I get off my butt and I work. When I don't owe somebody anything, I don't do anything. Does that make sense? This is how the human mind actually works. This is how economies actually work. Without debt, you cannot have an economy. Without owing somebody something, economies don't exist. Does that make sense? We get that the stock market is a debt market. That's all it is. It's a tracker of debt. You owe this, and now that's valuable to you. That's all it is. The mortgage banking business is a debt market. All it does is say, well, you owe me that. Rents, hey, you owe me this, right? Somebody's hungry, well, you owe me that. Life is debt. At some point, you owe somebody something else. Be excited when you owe somebody. It gives you a chance to owe them more next time. Every time you pay a debt off, you get to take out a bigger, badder debt. Debts are good, as long as you pay your debts. The people who pay their debts are the most successful people on the planet. There's two parts to success. One, get in debt. Two, pay it back to do it again. Does that make sense? Works every time. Now, on the tracker, you're going to track your assets and your liabilities. You're going to do this yourself, individually, and you're going to fill it out as quickly as you possibly can. The sections I want you to focus on, I know that the type is very, very small. The sections I want you to focus on are assets you have. If you own a house, put that down as an asset. And if you owe a debt on that, put that down as a debt, as a liability. If you own a car, whatever it's worth, and the liability side is whatever you owe. Does that make sense? If you have cash in the bank, and we're gonna keep this very simple, cash in the bank, or stocks, or a retirement fund. If you own a business, your evaluation of the business is based on how many dollars you brought in that year times it by 5. That's the net worth of the business, and any assets you have within it. This makes sense?
Say that again.
One
About
sheet?
the business.
So if you own a business, say you made $100,000 last year, your business is worth $500,000. Just not $500,000, sorry, $500 million. Yeah. $500,000, yeah. Yeah, 500,000, right. So you guys got about 5 minutes to fill this out the best you can. In this particular situation, your name and information at the top is no longer important. The only thing that matters are your numbers. So skip forward, but at home, I would fill this out 100% because it helps you when the bank asks you for your PFS to already have it. Because the bank will ask. And when we go ask for money, we're asking 10 banks for one deal because we don't like to fail. We like to succeed. In this past time with our complex condo situation, 10 banks we went to, 8 said no. If I'd stopped at 8, I wouldn't have the deal. 2 said yes. That's all I needed. All I needed was 1. So we sent out the PFS a lot. It was, fire it off. Oh, you want it on your form? No problem, copy and paste. So you're gonna wanna get this digital, and you wanna get it written down, you wanna have it, so that you can just fire it off to a lender, because you never know when you're gonna need a lender. But you do know they're gonna need this. So you got about 5 minutes to fill out the assets that you possibly can. The blue one in the front, this is Dominion Financial Services. This is one of our lenders. It's an actual form that we actually use. Actually, the Webster one's a lot easier to fill out. Go with the Webster one. Go with the Webster PFS. You'll find it's a lot easier to read, it's a lot easier to fill out. It's also a bank that exists locally. I do a lot of business with them. And at some point, I'm gonna have them pay me to do these events. This is a great idea. All right. So you guys got about 5 minutes to fill that out. And I will play a little bit of music for that. We'll jam out. And do yourselves and everybody a favor, do not talk during this. Just fill it out. No talking. This is a personal experience. Yep. I'm helping. Just write it out. Yep. If you do have any questions, put your hands up and I'll come on.
So, securities, like include retirement accounts,
Securities or retirement accounts. You may find the Webster one is a little, oh, you're right.
oh, okay, cool. Headspace.
Headspace. Yeah. Use the same logo. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say within that is where it is. Within real estate, activist, then the events are in there. But yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, that makes sense. So intensive. Can you write the web address right here? Oh, I got it. It's waltermillen.com/. Yeah. If you guys have any questions with it, feel free to put your hands up. Ron, can you come help Ray out? So when you get down to auto or anything like that, the asset is what it's actually worth. The debt, what you owe, is the liability side.
So I'd write down like our loan, like how much I have on my loan, and then real estate would be the worth of the property.
So if you own real estate, what it's actually worth is the real estate side on the asset side. And then if you owe debt on it, that's on the other side of that column. Congratulations. Don't own it yet. No. But it's coming. Congratulations.
Yeah, but I guess it would always be like. It's just better
How we doing?
Good.
Yeah? Anybody need more time?
Like 30 seconds.
like an hour.
30 seconds? I know. Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
Mine's the same way.
Good thing.
It is a good thing. No. Okay. Let's do 20 more seconds. Yeah? Okay. Randy, you do yours? You good? All right. So how was that experience?
I like the music.
The music is good. I like it too. All right, so now I've got to speed up a little bit. I might have taken a little long on describing lending, but it's okay. There's a way to do all of it. So we just did an exercise for the PFS. Instead of normally what I would like to do is I would break you guys up again and have you explain the first fear that came up inside you, right? So when you first went and touched the project, this form, this exercise, there was a fear inside you. There was something that came up. There was thoughts immediately, whether it was, it's not enough, it's embarrassing, I don't know all my numbers, what if I'm missing something, did I get it all, why isn't there more, what are these other sections, who has all these things? Whatever that fear was, I get it. I remember the first time I filled one out, I also felt those. I remember the last time I felt it, I filled one out, I also felt that. I get it. It's part of being human in a financial world that isn't discussing finances, right? You guys are okay, you're all normal. The important thing is to know that it gets easier the more often you do it. Who knows what I'm talking about? Did anybody feel tension when they started reviewing their financial statement? Was there a little tension there? It's all just like, it's okay to experience that tension because once you know, who's ever been to AA, right? The Alcoholics Anonymous? Right, so what is the first thing they say in AA? We've all heard it. 12 steps, right?
Admit you're an addict, is that the first step?
AA. Yeah, you gotta admit that there's a situation, right?
Just kidding.
Right? Actually, Agent Alchemist is AA too. Just so we're clear, Agent Alchemist is also AA. You're right. So, it is, the first step is acknowledging where you are, right? This is who I am and where I am, but it's not where I'm staying. I'm going to get better. I'm going to another place, so I will become better. Does that make sense? So I'll become better than I am today. That's what the personal statement is. It just is a starting point. That's it. I've done and looked at my PFS, and I've had $150,000 in credit card debt on the liability side. It's sweet, right? I owed a lot of people. I've done my PFS and owed $2 million, right? I've done it and had big numbers on that side. And I've also done it and had no numbers on that side. My life was a lot worse. When I had no debt on that side, trust me, my life was a lot worse. Because it correlates to how much I had on the left side. When I was young, and maybe to some of you I still am, right? But when I was young and I was 18 years old and I was working, I thought that having everything paid in cash was smart. I thought not having credit didn't matter because I didn't even think about credit. It was just pay everything off in cash and pay all my bills, right? And I was making $10 an hour. And then I took a loan for a car and I was like, oh my God, I don't know, I'm making enough. And so I went and I got a job making $18 an hour. And then I decided I wanted a girlfriend. So anybody here ever get a girlfriend? That was a jump in pay. That was a requirement. And if you're not making more money when you decide to get into a relationship, you're doing it wrong.
I had to hand one of these in.
Right? Yeah, ladies, if you're requiring a PFS, well done. Very good, yes. This is how it works. The more I took out for debt, the more I owed people, even when, who's in a relationship? Who's got a spouse or somebody they care about, right? Who has children? Who has parents? Who has siblings? Friends? You owe people stuff already, right? Your debt to them is to improve their lives, make their lives better. This is a debt you carry gladly, right? No problem. Get more of those debts. Owe the right people the right things, right? It's the same with money. Owe the right assets a debt. You're fine, right? It's okay to owe a 3-family money because that 3 families got 3 families paying you. So it works, right? It's not okay to owe a vacation that you just went on, or I've spent money on vacation, but I've spent, most expensive vacation I spent was $6 grand, right? On a $6,000, oh, actually no, I spent a little more. $7 grand on a vacation. When I came back, I did not have the $7 grand, nor did I have the vacation, right? It was done, and it did not pay dividends afterwards, right? I've also gone and spent 10 grand on a training course that was in Vegas, so went on a vacation, and when I came back, I had a new business plan that made me $100,000 that year. So there's a difference. You can still travel, but why you travel is very important. The reason you're going is very important. Buying a car. We were just talking about buying cars, right? Buying a car that is souped up, fast, gets you places. Let's say G-Wagon. One of my buddies owns a G-Wagon. Can't justify it financially based on my assessment, right? One of my other buddies drives a Camry. Could justify the G-Wagon all day. Or another one, Ford F-150, right? All over the place. These are not super, some of these, the ones that some of them are. But they can afford it, right? They're using those trucks at work. They're contractors, they're plumbers, electricians, they're property managers, right? They're doing flips. So their vehicle is more than just a transportation. It's an asset that they use in the business. This makes sense?
Yep.
So there's how you do things all matters. It all matters because where you're starting is down here, right? Every one of you looked at that paper, no matter where you are income-wise, you looked at it the same way. This is not enough. Am I wrong? Right? Every single one of you looked at it and said, this is kind of real. Can I get any more dollars into this? Can I grab it from anywhere else? We all looked at it the same exact way. We're all human beings. This event is about resetting that, right? This is why we come back often. This is why we'll do it over and over, because it makes sense. It's a reset. It's an opportunity to get to the next level. Here's the deal. Every level has another devil. It's very true. And so you train differently for every different devil. Does that make sense? You guys getting this? Good stuff? Cool. How about another weapon? How about I give you guys a tool? I'm going to teach you how to get the letter to the lender. So the letter to the lender is an imperative piece. If you turn to the next piece in your folder, after the PFS, we've got a deal we did on Fountain Street. When I say deal we did, I mean we closed in 10 days. So we still got a little bit of time left. This is a $1 million deal. It's actually a $2.2 million deal. This is the biggest single deal I've ever done. When I started, I would not have touched a deal like this. I wouldn't have even known that it was a deal. When if somebody mentioned that this was happening, I would be like, sounds crazy. Not doing it, right? I wouldn't even said not doing it. I wouldn't even thought that I could have done it. I would have said, good for them, right? Or maybe when I was really new to this, rich bastards, must be nice. Oh, they're so lucky. I might have said something like that. You guys know those people? Trust me, when you leave this room, there's a lot of them out there. Your success will always be, man, must be nice. Oh, he's so lucky, she's so lucky. Yep, I agree. It is nice. And yeah, I am pretty lucky. I feel amazing to be able to do what I do for a living. The letter to the lender is really about letting them know that you're serious about doing the deal. So at the top, actually, if you go to the next page, before I get started on this, if we go to the next page, you should all have the template.
Yeah.
So you can write your own letters. Does that make sense? Is it cool that I've spelled it out for you? Because if you read this, there's a good chance you weren't going to do it right. There are actual pieces I put into writing a letter to our lenders. I didn't know what they were. I'm just a natural salesperson. When I say natural salesperson, I pounded this skill into my brain for the last 6 years. So maybe not that natural, but it's in my head now, and I forget the things that I do. So when Ron needs a letter written, I'm like, Ron, just write him a letter. And then he says, can you do it? And I just spout the letter out, it's done, and I'm perfect. I don't know why he couldn't do it. But then, when I actually had to train this, when I was sitting down to train it, I realized this is complex. There's a lot that actually goes into the letter that must be in there to increase compliance, to increase the enticement that the lender's gonna have. So, at the top, you have the property address. Can't do a deal without an address. One thing they all have is a location. The header includes the purchase price, the after repair value, the down payment, closing costs, renovation, and capital desired. This is bullet points. This is for your Ds. This is so when I look at it, I don't have to read the fluff below. Does this thing make money? That's all I'm asking, right? Many lenders are that way. So that part has to be at the top. They're the least patient people. They just want to look at the numbers. They're not reading the rest if that doesn't excite them. Does this make sense? Yeah. Excellent. Next is notify of attachments. This is for the Cs. These people want to know that at the end there's more information, right? So they won't just stop. The Ds also want to know what attachments are in there without having to scroll to the bottom of the email and checking for it themselves. Does that make sense? So we notify their attachments. Attachments should include property analysis report, comparable market analysis, and I wouldn't add more to this until requested. Let bait them. Let them tell you they want more information. But those three are a requirement. You must have evaluated the property, and you must have the CMAs to find out what the after repair value of the building is. Describe the seller's situation and reason for selling. Every single seller has a story. The first thing I want to know is why is this a deal? How are you getting this deal so cheap? Every lender feels the same way. They want to know, how'd you get it, right? What am I not seeing here? Because on paper it seems like you're really taking advantage of this person. When you start telling the story, for example, these condos were originally purchased in 2004 at the price of $3.8 million by some out-of-town investors as a school building that was renovated to a rental property. Those investors then turned the units into individual condos and began selling them off in 2007. When the market turned, the investors were stuck holding the property, and seeing as these are condos, they did not appreciate for very many years. As you may know, condos are usually the last thing to appreciate in an upmarket, and have finally gotten to the point where these condos are worth $100,000 each. Unfortunately for the previous investors, they had put the condos on the market 2 years ago and were unable to sell them and became disenchanted with the project. It takes about 2 years to unload a project like this. So when they tried and they realized the market wasn't there, they said, we just got to get rid of the whole portfolio, because to unload them individually is complex. Financing this is the most complex deal I've ever done. Now, that's just setting the standard. I can't wait for more complex deals with more debt behind them, because that means less barrier to entry for all of the other investors out there. I'll do the more complex deals. I want to train you guys to do more complex deals, because that opens up more options for you. Because of a timing situation for those investors, they're missing out on $1.4 million. Is it okay that I'm getting $1.4 million because I understand timing?
Absolutely.
I agree. So, any lender is going to agree with you. You give them the reason. Then you describe the value add strategy. Every strategy you do has a value add, whether it's just fixing paint, kicking out tenants, putting new tenants in, whether it's adding an addition. For us, we're selling off the actual condos by upgrading slightly, but selling individually, which is something the other people haven't tried in 2 years. So there's a value add strategy that must be in there. If you're just buying it and you've got no play, what are we doing here? You're just buying property? When they see that there's a play on the other side, it has to make sense. Value add could be, I'm going to add bedrooms, I'm going to add bathrooms, I'm going to just clean and carpet, and I'm switching over from mixed use to residential. Whatever your niche is, whatever your thing is, that's your value add, right? Everybody gets what a value add is? Okay. Exit strategy. Exit strategy 1 is always a flip. Exit strategy 1 is, can you sell this thing after your value add for more money? If you cannot, it's not something somebody's going to lend on. Does that make sense? Always, your first strategy must be, the bank wants their money back. Especially hard in private money. They want to know that you're getting out. Now, commercial lending will just want the second strategy. Commercial and residential do not want to hear that you're flipping property. Does that make sense? Private money, which is what we're gonna teach you guys how to collect, and hard money, which we're gonna teach you how to work with, they want their money back quickly, because they made their money on the points. For private money, they're making their money over the experience. So for them, sometimes they switch over to being like commercial and residential lenders. In fact, I have one of my buddies who's like, yeah, I don't want the money back, can you just roll it? And I've had to have the conversation that I don't have a project right now, so you must take your money back, because I'm not paying interest on something I'm not using. And so every so often he's like, well, you ready to take it back yet? You ready to take it back yet? Because there is a return on the 12%, he's getting money on the other side. So for him, it makes sense, it's part of his portfolio. The irony is he's an investor I've helped buy a bunch of property with, and now he's selling his property off and he'd much rather just shift, right? Have that passive income. For private and hard, describe the reason for the capital desired. When I say describe the reason for the capital desired, what I'm talking about is I'm going to do this value add, and I'm going to, this is all deposit, down payment, there's renovation costs, whatever it may be, this is the reason for the request. When you're going for hard money, you're no longer talking about the down payment, we pretend we already have it. Right? When we go line up hard money, we're saying we're going to buy the property, the purchase price is what it is for. Right? The money is for, say on this deal, it's $800,000 is going towards just buying the property. This is what it is. And then any addition for doing the renovation should be in there as well. This is why we're borrowing. Does that make sense? Next section, call to action sentence. I typed it in here so that you don't mess it up, because words are important. The call to action sentence is, if you know someone who is interested in lending on this project, or you yourself have interest, please feel free to request any information you may find necessary. What the sentence does is it gives them an action call, where they're going to take action there and or ask you questions, or give you a referral. Next question is the time restraint strategy. Please also note this project will only be available for the next 2 weeks, and funds will have to be assigned before the end of Ron, the word month should not be in there. Before the end of these 2 weeks. So everybody who sees the word month, please take your pen out and cross that word out. Fun exercise. We did it just for fun. We put it in there for you guys. And very good. All right. So normally I would have you write it down yourself because that'll make it memorable, but you get to write your own PFF. You get to write your own letter. This is your description, right? This is the guide that you would follow. If I had more time, I'd actually have you write it out with us today, but I think it's very important that we move forward to the promissory note. But you guys, I want to make sure you guys are going to fill out your own letter. Okay. Would it have been a valuable exercise to do it together with you today? 1,000%. Okay. All right. So whoever is coming to the mastermind this Saturday, we'll do it there. Sound good? Okay. A week from today. This Saturday, we'll fill this out. Just bring the paper and we'll fill out your own letter. Sounds good? Is there anybody who can't make it to this Saturday? Shoot me a text and I'll make sure that you get added to the group. We do record every session that we do. So I'll make sure that you guys are involved in it. Sounds good? Okay. Yes? What is it? You didn't get one of these? What is it? You can come to the mastermind. Yes. Yes. Oh. Anybody who has stayed this long, you're welcome to join my mastermind and come every single week at Saturday at 10. We do it religiously because that's the fastest way to get to the next level. The previous masterminds I've been a part of have been every 2 months. And every 2 months, I'd reset, I'd get charged up, and then a week in, I'd forget a lot of the stuff that I'd got all charged up for. We were playing with big stuff, big potatoes, so I was still putting things into play, but the energy was losing, right? You don't wait a whole week before taking a shower, right? You don't wait 2 months before taking a shower. You don't wait a year before taking a shower, right? You get showered daily, so motivation is daily. The mastermind, accountability, it's daily, right? It's once a week we all get together and we commit to each other, we're gonna do this. You can get rich over the next 20 years. You can be a millionaire. You won't be rich though. Or you could work very hard for the next couple of years by holding each other accountable every single week and get rich a lot faster, 2 to 3 years. Who wants to do that plan? That's the one I subscribe to too. I like to go fast because nobody keeps track of the millionaire who retired at 70. Does that make sense? Excellent. This is a very valuable piece of paper. Please make sure that you do the exercise with us Saturday and do it online with us if you're not able to be there. Very good? Okay, excellent. And then you can review the actual copy of one that we've actually sent out. Very good. Moving forward with the promissory note. This.
Hey, Wolf, can I hit one question on that?
Sure.
Are you using like when you type this out, would you literally give this as it is? Like no headers, no fonts, no,
100%, just like that.
just as
Just
simple
like
as this
that.
is?
Simple as
Same
that.
way we're thinking, I was doing last night.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
The idea is, remember who we're talking to now? We're talking to lenders. They're either D's or C's, and so they want the information, and the D's want it fast, they want it clean. They're not I's, right?
Simple bullets, just, yeah.
Exactly. The I side of it is more your relationship with that person, but when they're reviewing the contract, it's, actually, you know what? We could put a green or a blue ribbon or something that would go
Mine's a
across.
little fancy,
Yeah,
it's
I
super
think for me as an I do like to see those, so. If we had that promissory note, and it had like a little line across here, maybe like alchemy somewhere, it would be more appealing.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so that would be an option. Put your company logo there. That sound good?
Yeah.
Put your letterhead, put a company, yes, a letterhead would be perfect. A marketing professional, she knows.
I get super insecure with it when I'm sending them out trying to make them like cool logo.
Have a letterhead, makes everything you do easier.
And
It's
a
all
little
about
bit of color.
streamline. With a little bit of color. That's right, very good. So the promissory note, this is the magic document. This is the most important document in this binder. This is what you collect money with. Copy it. We didn't put our logo on there, so you guys can do whatever you want with it. Ron, did we make this ourselves?
Promissory note?
Yeah. We're not attorneys. Mike is. So I would strongly suggest having Mike look at a promissory note or create you one. He is worth the time. Pay him for his services. Thank him for doing it. But have an attorney look at your promissory note. It's a note you're going to use over and over and over and over. A one-page promissory note is much easier for somebody to swallow and digest. So it has to be one page. So Mike, when you're doing these, I know you got to cut some stuff out, but whatever.
27 pages.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it takes to get it to one page.
Nope, I don't get it, I don't get it.
Walter,
Yeah.
can you email it to us or?
Could it be emailed to you? Shoot me a text.
Promissory note?
Yeah. Is it? You don't have it?
I do have it, but.
Okay. You want the digital form? We should charge extra. Ron's in charge of charging extra. So yeah. But for right now, because it is beta, yes, you'll get it. Absolutely. I'm just learning what I can charge for. Is that cool? So you guys are part of the beta test. You guys are in here learning at a very steep discount, mostly because you guys are doing me a huge favor, teaching me how to do this. That make sense? Excellent. So the promissory note is super simple. The way we put it together was requested by one of our lenders. One of our private money lenders literally asked us to get this on the one page. He was like, I don't want to, like, complex contracts mean I don't understand what I'm looking at. He's like, I want it on one page so I know what we're doing, and that's why it's this way. So the dollar amount's at the top, the date is at the top. Next is for value received, the undersigned, which is the bar, which is you. That line is your name or your company, your LLC. Just know that typically they like to see a person's name on here. So many times you're personally guaranteeing this. I would suggest in the beginning you may have to do that until they become very legitimate. It's also a risk, but you know what? You're taking their money. You're putting them at a risk. Risk worth taking. Does that make sense? A lot of people will tell you, put it in an LLC. Yeah, you're protected. What protection have you given them? I genuinely believe, Mike will tell you the same thing. He's gonna tell you, yeah, put it in an LLC, protect yourself, right? And that's your job. Just know that at some point, if it comes down to it, how important is the deal to you? Are you willing to put your money on the line, your assets on the line to get the deal done? Not giving any advice in this arena. So I'm not an attorney, I'm just telling you what I've done. Does that make sense? And I will say, some people perceive the things I've done as risky, and maybe they were. I know that sometimes I pay for it, and sometimes I get paid for it.
Right.
So I'm still here and I'm still running. You only lose when you stop. That said, next section. Well, same section. The lender is the borrower, that's their name. The dollar amount they're borrowing goes again right there. See the dollar sign? And then with interest from, what's that, date, Ron?
Yep.
Yeah, date on unpaid principal at the rate of, and we typically put in 12%. This is something our investors like, because they can just do the math quickly. I like it because I can do the math quickly. You give me $100,000, I give you $1,000 a month. Super simple. When you go to 11% or 10%, the math gets complex. It's harder to sell complex math. A confused mind says no. It's part of sales 101. We know that if we confuse a mind, they're gonna say no. So our job is simplify. Give them 12%, makes a lot of sense. Payments are explained right in there. It's basically a 12-month term or a 24-month term or 6-month term, whatever you put. The two blanks are the starting date and end date. After this is the basic understanding of what happens with a default situation, and then signatures at the bottom. This document is as simple as we could make it. I'm going to set the challenge to Mike to come up with a way to do it in a safe manner that is better than this, and to charge them an equal equivalent because it's worth it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
We agree, Mike?
Sure.
Oh, we just got to visit together. That was awesome. Make people money, my friend.
Walter,
Yes.
I thought the bank gave you a policy. Do you give?
Unfortunately, you are now borrowing, turning somebody into the bank, so they don't have any documents. You are now the borrower, turning them into a lender. So this is a normal person. This would be like you coming to me, saying, hey, I want to borrow your money. They're like, oh, cool, excellent. What documents are you going to give me? Right? You're now educating them to become the bank. Does that make sense? So that's,
For private lenders?
this is for private money.
Oh,
Yes. Now, the bank's a lot easier. They'll give you tons of documents to fill out. You just fill out the documents. So, moving forward, that's what the next section is. All of the back of this package is the commercial application. It's the, oh, that's more commercial application. Another commercial investment, this is a rent roll from a property. This is what they're requesting you put your rent rolls on. So even though you have your rent roll in your form, they want it on their form. And then they have the business banking real estate form, which is again income and expenses. This is an application. Actually, the first one was an application, right? Yeah, this is an application. This is another application for a different bank. So those are common documents. Yep, that's it. Cool. Any questions on the promissory note or on the cover letter? Yes.
I have a comment.
Very good.
We may suggest that you do a letter of intent, which is a simple letter, and then just turn over the promissory note to us, because then we can do a full promissory note and get all the boilerplate in there and things like that, so.
That's a great strategy. I like that. So a letter of intent, an LOI. Yep, go ahead.
One thing I've.
Actually, let me say it. So letter of intent, an LOI for whatever you're about to borrow, and have the attorney go write it up for you. Is that, that's a safer way to, that's a safer route. And if you're not doing that, you're doing it as risky as I do it. So I would strongly suggest going the safer route. Mike understands this.
It's not a big deal either way. Just-
See?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I would rather see you work through an attorney, because it's gonna track you, hold you accountable, make sure everything is done the right way, and it's just safer. And I would rather see you guys go through an attorney. Perfectly honest. And Mike is a phenomenal attorney. He understands the business. So give Mike a round of applause for volunteering out of the And he is affordable. It definitely is worth, I'm telling you, you save a couple $100 but you lose a couple thousand, not worth it. Definitely work with the right people. Josh.
One acronym that's always been engraved in my mind whenever I speak to anybody or reading hundreds of pages of documents, probably Mike can tag along with this, is KISS, K-I-S-S. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yes.
What was the last one? Keep it what?
Keep it simple, stupid.
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart, I like that better, Mike, you're right. Very good, very good. So, we've gotten today, just to recap, negative mind, right? We handled that. We handled understanding how to evaluate a deal. There is homework to do, right? This is just like any other training. There is homework to do. All I did was teach. Action is everything. But mindset, action without mindset is just being busy, right? So now you've been educated on the negative belief system. You're gonna see them come up. Your job is wear this for 30 days. I want you to commit to your success by holding this on for 30 days. Yes, the yellow may rub off at some point, but the band will still hurt. And that's the important part. You hold on to this for 30 days. Anytime you think in non-supportive, negative money belief, snap it. And snap it with a vengeance. Because the more you do this, the more strict you are with this, the more speed you'll move towards making money. When you stop your mind from allowing those thoughts to exist, all it replaces are positive thoughts. We're gonna do on one side the negative removal, and on the other side the positive influence. So make sure that after, don't just leave your wrist hurting and burning. Afterwards, replace it with a positive thought. This way, your mind knows what to do next time. Right? It's not just about beating yourself up. It's about, that was bad, do this next time. This is a way better thought. This is the reality of the situation. So if you catch yourself with any negative, unsupportive money beliefs, snap on the wrist. We agree? It's a challenge. We call it the 30-day challenge, right? Alchemist challenge. We'll come up with some sort of hashtag for this. And I want to see the hashtags. I want to see you guys out there on social media with, red wrists, being like, dude, this is the thought I had, this is what I replaced it with. Empower each other. Absolutely. Build a community around it. People will ask what you're doing. They won't get it. That's okay. The people who do get it, they get it, right? And they'll support you in it. All it takes is just knowing that one of you is out there doing it and sees that, somebody's gonna come in and say, dude, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that, right? Or, good job, worth it. So that we went through the mindset. Mindset is something that we're constantly fixing. Ron's seen me snap this, all right? And I like to think that my mindset, I honestly, I'm very real myself. I know my mindset still has a lot of work to do, right? It's always working, always improving. But I like to think that on some level I've done pretty well. But he'll be like, oh, snap it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because these things come up. And they always will, but you will get better at addressing them and shifting, right? Unless you have $1 billion in the bank, there's still work to be done. That's it. Then we moved into how to evaluate a deal. You all understand how to evaluate a deal, right? Get the seller's information. Deal done. That's all that matters. But while you're out there, get all the rest so you can put it into a property evaluation form later. On Bigger Pockets, all the instructions are on there to fill out the calculators. You want to use the flip calculator and you want to use the buy and hold calculator. Those are the two calculators that we use consistently. If you're bringing us a deal, we really just want that form filled out, and you give us that form and you bring us the flip count, we got the rest. But if you bring us that form, we'll figure out the flip count. Does that make sense? So what we've done, Ron, what is the link? Is it a long link? We'll make it available. All right, so we've got this form digitally so that you can be out at a property and not have the form with you, but log right into the link. It's used, we use Jot forms. Yep.
You're talking about the Jot?
Jot form.
Yeah, it's on GulfRiverRoad.com, it's the yellow button.
Oh my God! All right. There's a yellow button on GualtRiverRoad.com if you go there, where you can actually press the button and it brings you to our Jot form. Insert the property information. We now know about the property. We now will look at it and say, is this something we're interested in? Is that cool? And at that point, we'll kick back, since we're doing the Bigger Pockets calculator anyway, we'll kick back a Bigger Pockets calculator for you guys. Is that cool? Did I just make a commitment we can do? Rod, can we do that?
What?
Bigger Pockets calc, if they kick it in, we kick it, calc back?
We'll give that a shot.
Excellent, we're gonna give it a shot. We don't know the volume this will bring, right? Please make it only things you're going on an appointment for. Right now, this is him and I doing it, so it will be manual for us, and I will really, really be happy if we're just doing important things. Things that you're going on. If you've met the person, I'll do the calc all day. It makes sense. If it's a thought that you might meet the person, we're not there yet. Does that make sense? The only way you fill out the calculator is in person. If you're not in person, you're not building relationships. Over the phone doesn't count. Sales is a belly-to-belly service. It's a contact sport, right? Anybody been in my sales trainings? It's contact. I'm always saying face-to-face. This is where the money's made, face-to-face, right? I could teach you guys all of this by an email, right? I could have educated you and trained you by an email. But the relationship we built, the information gets stored very differently face-to-face. We're seeing this? This makes sense?
Sure.
Same in sales, same in one-on-one sales, same on self-sales, selling yourself on concepts, one-on-one sales, same on stage sales, and same with broadcasting sales, when you're out there selling from the internet. One of the things that we're putting together is a training course. It's a course that is everything we just learned, or everything we just talked about. We're looking to do it online the same way we did Agent Alchemist. Agent Alchemist is a bunch of quick videos that have all of the actual, like whatever they say the video is about to be about, it actually is, and then it's 1 to 2 minutes long. It's very short, depending on the topic. I cut anything that was longer than 2 minutes into multiple sections because I wanted people to just be able to go in, because I was thinking about people like me who like to, I just want to know that, I don't want to know all of it. I don't want to have to listen to 5 minutes. I might forget what I was there for if I have to listen to 5 or 10 minutes of a video. I might not watch the video if it says 20 minutes long. Right? I may just skip to the beginning and the end, and I'll think I got it. So I created the training. The training we're working on right now is designed the same way. It's just 1 to 2 minutes, but each one of these sections will be 50 videos long. But you'll be able to just scan through and pick which one you want. Is that cool? Do you think that would be a valuable asset? So I'll build it then. Very cool. What would you pay for? I love this part.
$5.
What would you pay? Oh, okay. He doesn't value me. What would you pay to have access to that? Very seriously. If it was all of the wholesaling information, right? How to do the contracts, how to do what we do, strategies, landlording, how to find the right tenants, how to do all those pieces, wholesaling as far as lead gen, how to find the deals, bring in all the deals, all the properties, different strategies you've used, and we'll continue to develop it over time, adding more as I learn more. The flip strategies, how to flip property, and then how to do the financing, the actual money collection, what we just went through today. The reason I recorded this is so we can get a lot of it transcribed. So we can get a lot of it written down, understand what was said and what was done, questions that were asked. And so we're gonna go back and I'll go and put all of these into video form, build this training. What do you think that would be worth to be able to access that at any time? Do I have $1,000? Maybe $10,000? Be an online course.
Online course?
Yeah.
I'll probably say maybe like 197, 3 times maybe.
Ooh, 3 payments for 197. I like that.
If it's like everything you're like saying, like everything we'll need to like do everything, I feel like.
You guys will vet it for me until it's everything that I'm committed to. Yeah. I'm not selling it today. I can't. I don't have it. Like, so the thing is, I'm building it, and I want to make sure that I build it the right way. Go ahead.
Are you doing a continuity program where every month it's subscription to your university?
I like that idea. I just don't know how to develop it yet. But I think that would ultimately be the right plan, is as we're adding pieces to it, it'd be a continuity where you just pay something small, a nominal fee, and you just have access to everything. I think it's a good idea. That said, am I running out of time? Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Well, I was intending to be done by 12. So, last sale of the day. The Get the Money event is so far a success. Do you guys feel empowered? Do you feel like you learned the techniques, the skills, you have the paperwork, you have everything you need to be able to move forward and do deals? At least collect the money, right? If you had a deal, you'd have the ability to go find the funds. Are there any questions right now in your head that say, like if somebody came along, that there was a perfect deal, I don't know how to finance it? Is there any questions along that line?
How do you find people, like lenders, hard money lenders?
Yeah.
That's simple. Already. Go to the RIAs, go to the real estate investor meetups, That's where I collect most of my money, by running events, by training events, by teaching people. I found that to be very cash flow nights. I just bring people over for cash flow. We talk about real estate investing, and then I mention my product, and they say, "Wow, I'd like to do a deal with you." You just be successful. I would say be successful and surround yourself with lots of people, and people will want to be a part of it. That's the super secret sauce. But people, the real key is be successful. People will end with somebody who they see moving and advancing. So do well, people will want to be with you. But if you were already doing well and you wanted to collect money right now, which you guys all are, cash flow nights. Buy the board game Cash Flow, it's $100 online, buy it, and put it on Meetup and invite people over to play. Or family and friends that you'd like to work with, invite them over to play Cash Flow. If I could say the easiest strategy for somebody who's not a trained speaker, that would be the way to go. It allows you a scenario where you can talk to people. That's the board game right there. Ron, we should get an affiliate link. We should get an affiliate link. We'll raffle it off today for $1,000. That is a 10x return on investment. So the Get the Deal event, that is going to be on January 25th and 26th. It's a weekend, it's a Saturday and a Sunday. I do it because on Saturday and Sunday, real estate investors are real estate investing, hopefully. That's when you're thinking, you're recharging. Most of you, who here works a 9 to 5? And I assume that's during the week. Yeah. So on Saturday and Sunday, do you have some freedom? Do you have the ability to hit something like this? Yes. The other problem I ran into, because I really wanted February, was that the Super Bowl was the next weekend. And I'm smart enough to know that I don't want to compete with the Super Bowl. Now, interesting, I bet if I ran it on the Super Bowl, you guys would still be there. How interesting is that? Right?
Depends on who's on the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, maybe. Does it though? Does it depend on who's in the Super Bowl?
No.
At the end of the day, I'd miss one Super Bowl to make $1 million. I would miss every Super Bowl for the rest of my life. What is it?
That way you can make enough money to buy it.
Buy the team, right? Get the Jets, right? Gary V. Buying the Jets, right? Tell me he won't buy the Jets. I guarantee you he will.
The game doesn't start until 6:30.
See? See? Mike gets it. Yeah, but the pre-party is at like 12.
He won't buy the Jets.
Oh, he'll get it.
As long as you don't mind that, I guess.
I would.
It's not pre-party here.
See? We're pre-party here. So we're the weekend before. So we're going to be the weekend before. It's the 25th and 26th, right, Ron? 25th and 26th, it starts at 8 p.m. 8 a.m. It's going to be early, and I'm going to run late. This is if anybody says they want to do something with you later that weekend, it's a no-go. We're all in. If you miss anything in that, you will know. You'll know, because you'll have missed entire sections. The way I'm going to do it is similar to what we did here, where every single exercise comes with a partner share, comes with a group share, comes with a written exercise. This way you're memorizing, and comes with training. This way it gets into your head and you guys have it. I know it's kind of far away, but trust me, it will be here quickly. The other side is that what happened today is, how many people went and paid afterwards? Ron, how many people went and paid afterwards? It was a bunch. It was almost double. Was it? No, but like yesterday, the day before, all this.
I thought we talked about Get the Deal.
So one of the issues we had is, if we'd known this many people were coming, we would have gotten a slightly bigger venue. We would have taken it somewhere else. So pay earlier so we know what's going on, right? This way we can go take the money and we just roll it forward. That's what we do with all the cash we make. We reinvest so we can do bigger deals and help more people. So we just take it and we pay for a venue. I may bring a speaker in. I may have, not a speaker, I may bring in my DJ buddy with his equipment so it'll be a little louder. But that's really helps us if you pay earlier. When you pay earlier, not if. I don't like that word. Right? Positive. That said, it's going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to start at 8. I am known for running late. Alright, today I'm doing phenomenal. In fact, I'm probably gonna blow that out of the water though. Yeah, I'm still doing good. So, I'm known for running late. Is it okay if as we're getting closer to the event, I come up with extra things I wanna teach? I will tell you up front, hey, at 4 or at 5 or at 6, I'm gonna do this. One of the things that my coach does that I really like is he has a happy hour where after the first day, we go out, Mike was actually there with us, and Andrew was there with us with Amy. We go and we hang out, and that's where the cool stuff happens. That's where the deals, you come over and you're like, hey, like, we're doing all of this, and my group, my partners are really helpful, and we're getting a lot. But this one I really think is up here, what's that question, right? That's where I'm hanging around with you guys, Ron's hanging around with you guys, and it's no longer just this forum, it becomes one-on-one, building groups, building plans, building teams, putting partnerships together. It's, what I'd like to build is gonna be a very powerful night. So we'll probably do that on the Saturday night, and we'll probably do it here in the city, and I'll probably make sure that the space we're doing it in is very cool. Because I have a lot of fun relationships in the city, so it'll be a fun experience for you guys. The other thing I want to be very clear about is come with a mind of growth. The most important part is bring somebody with you, right? Because if you bring somebody with you, now you have one more person in the game. So many of you, who here brought somebody today? Who here got a free ticket today? Give everybody who shared a round of applause. You guys are awesome. What we're doing is we're not hiring or training competition. What we're doing is we're training our partners and our team members. You cannot do every deal yourself. Trust me. This city here right now has $4 billion worth of real estate. I can't buy it all right now, right? There's 6,000 buildings in this city right now. 3,000 of them are my target market, three families. I can only hit 3,000 max. But transactions that I do per year is down to I've never done more than 8 transactions in a year. I probably won't do more than 10, 20, because I just scale to larger buildings. So after I'm done with 3s, I'll move to 6s and 10s, and I don't want to do a ton of deals, I want to do the right deals. But all of those deals still need to be done by somebody. And you guys are going to start training your partners. The only people that you can trust are people who you know have the same mindset as you. The easiest way to do that is bring them through the same trainings. How do I vet people? Have you read this book yet? I like podcasts, and I get content and information from podcasts. I love books because they're the same all the time. I can consistently say, I know who Josh is because I know what he's read. I know we're on the same page, right? Lisa, it's the same thing. When I hand out a book, it's for a reason. It's, have you gotten there yet? The Foundational 5. Who knows what the Foundational 5 are? Who would like to know what the Foundational 5 books are? All right, write these down quickly. It is Think and Grow Rich. Actually, no, I'll do it in order. It is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Richest Man in Babylon. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. And The Science of Getting Rich, Wallace D. Wattles. Listen to it every day for the rest of your life. Right, Mike?
Right.
Until rich.
I only got one.
Which one did you get?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
It's a good start.
That's a great
It's a good start. That is the intro book.
I need to know the other 4.
Oh, who here is going to commit to give him the other 4? Yeah? All right, very good. So, what we're doing by educating each other and empowering each other is building a team. Guys, I only got 5 more minutes left. Let me clean this up here. Yeah. So, buy the tickets early, quickly. Ron, did you fix the situation we had? You fixed it?
Yeah, I already checked it, I went and looked, it's there.
All right, so previously, it was not available to purchase. And me as a salesperson, I realized I didn't have a product to sell, scares me. Or a way to collect money scares me even more. So, what Ron did, in the time that we've been doing this, is he went and he created the intensive program on our website. If you go to right now, GualterAmorello.com, go to the link, and I want to see who's actually able to open it. You're already there.
Are you missing an
Get the
N?
deal?
What up?
Intensive.
Intense.
You don't have to put that in.
Intestine.
Oh my goodness.
There's an N in there somewhere.
It's because you're hungover.
That's what it is. Honestly, I'm feeling good right now. Man, he pushed me last night. He was like, "You want to play?" Oh no, I don't really want to play. I was like, "Dave." He was like, "You're gonna play."
Okay, your turn.
I played. We went to the Red Hen in Fall River. Anybody ever been there?
Oh, yeah.
Red Hen is cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they're all, it's like a speakeasy, so like you can't tell it's there from the front, then you walk into the door and there's another door and you can't tell it's there, then you walk in and boom, like copper everywhere, it's a cool spot. So Dave's talking smack, he's like, "Oh, it's a place for nerds." I'm like, "Dave, no, it's a cool place, come on over, like come check it out." We get in there, it was a place for nerds. There was, there was a convention, a LARPing convention, live action role play by Mastermind, which Zach used to work at. So these guys come in and they're all suited up, which ironically, I also had a trench coat on. And I had my trench, it was cold and rainy last night, so any excuse I can get to wear it. So I had it on, and I'm in there thinking, this is cool. And then about 10 minutes after we get there, people start funneling in with trench coats and fedoras. And they don't stop. It's like Sherlock Holmes just was like, "Yeah, let's go do this." And they keep coming in, and I already know what he's thinking. I'm like, "Nerds. You sons of bitches." It's exactly what he said it was. And they're coming in, so I am not one to be the oddball out. So I go to my car and I get my fedora. I come back in with the fedora on, and he's like, "You're gonna do this? You wanna do that?" He's like, "I've got a 1905 fedora in a box, my father's," and we just had a great time, right? But it was, I tell the story because it was a lot of fun. And you can be talking business, be talking real estate, doing deals with people, and just genuinely having a good time, and still at 2 o'clock in the morning make a commitment to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to be here for 7. And have a business partner who's got your back to wake you up at 7:06 to get in here before 8 o'clock. So give Ron a round of applause. So, if you haven't bought the book, please buy the book. What I do with the book is I give them away for free. The book doesn't cost me that much, but I do charge you a lot. That is so that I make money so that I can go and give it to people who actually need it. So one of the ways I do that is I travel around the country, I give it to the players. I give the book to the player, right? Or while I'm at an event, somebody wants the book, but they don't have cash on them. That's not an acceptable reason not to have information. It is a learning lesson, but I won't be back, so here's the book. Does that make sense? So what I do with it is I basically pay it forward. So everything that comes from the sale of the books ends up being a pay it forward deal later on. I'm committed to not taking any money from that business. That's one of the things that I did literally for information, to fill these events, to change people's lives. And who's read the book? You guys are awesome. Buy the book today, I will sign it today. But get me before I leave, because I'm out of here at 12:30. I gotta go do an open house at 1, which I don't typically do. But for Dave Hebert, I will do an open house, right? My agents know I don't do the open houses, but there's 2 players in the world that would make me do it, and he's one of them. That said, get the money event. You go to goldterminal.com. Who has it up on their phone now? Who was able to put it in?
No service.
No service? Okay. All right, so is there anybody having an issue with it? I want to test if it works on all the different Androids in the iPhone. You got it? You got it? Nice, Peter. Very good.
It came on, I didn't do it.
What is it?
It came on.
It came on. Very good. Very good.
Very good.
So go to /intensive, and that is where you can pay for the event. I was going to do an at-event only exclusive where I sold this super cheap and I gave you guys a digital product. I don't have a digital product to give you. Kills me on the inside. What I do have is a commitment. Everybody who goes and pays for it, your email address is now sent to us. From your email address, we can give you access to our training. So when you pay today for the $200 for the event, you're also going to get access to the training that we're going to be producing. I would have liked to have it done already. I recorded it all. The camera we recorded it on did not take the information from the eyeball piece and put it into the chip piece. Somewhere in the mix, that didn't happen. We didn't know until 3 days ago when we went to, well, yeah, it was 3 days ago, when we went to review. I was gonna go drop all the videos in, edit and build the site. So we don't have the information up. I have to now go re-record, which kills me. But I bet you my information will be better because now I've spent more time thinking about it. And I've practiced, and maybe you'll see me smile a little more in the videos instead of being like, what was I saying, Ron? What was it? Okay, cool. So it will be a better product. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll have it finished. So anybody who does sign up today does get access to that. Even though I played and said it's worth $10,000, and I do believe that when I'm done, it will be worth $10,000. And I'm sure that I will absolutely in the future sell it for $1,000 as it grows. Anybody who's been with me from the beginning gets it for this price, gets the event. You can come to my events for the rest of your life for free. You can bring one friend for the rest of your life for free. Every time you go to an event. Does that make sense? Is that a cool option? Here's the thing.
By signing up today.
Yes. By signing up today, yes, I know. That's what we call in sales a tensioner. It's a time restraint, right? So we use tensioners in order to create value. The only way to do this in sales, and when I'm talking about sales, I'm talking about you guys in houses doing it to other people, is you must know your value. You must have something worth doing it for, right? Have something worth selling. What I'm going to produce is something I know is valuable because it's what I wish had already existed for me, right? And it's what I know you guys need because you guys told me. So for $200, you get access to all of these future events. Get the deal. Now if I come up with another event afterwards, yeah, I'm going to charge you to go to that event. We're going to beta test it, that's going to be cheap. Then later on, I'll charge more for it. But for now, you guys are ground level. You guys are a little unique. You guys are like iPhone before everybody knew about the iPhone, right? You're like Apple before Apple got cool. Before Apple was like, let's put the logo on the back of our laptop so everybody can see it. That's where I want to see you guys. I have one more gift because I'm a gift giver, and it's hats. I don't know if I brought enough, but whoever stands up and puts their hand up gets a real estate investment hat built by the best. So take action now on the raising of your hand. You want a hat? You want a hat? Excellent. Sign up today, you get a hat. Guys, that said, everybody have fun today? Was this a good, valuable experience? Yes. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. You guys are amazing. Give yourselves a round of applause for showing up and becoming successful. Yes. I'll be around for a few more questions if you guys have any.